Prester John, the 49th installment of the Prester series. Why do we search? Who are we searching for? Are we searching for any man? Is this about the Son of Man? You still think Prester John's a man? They've been looking for him for 500 years, man. I mean, surely if we got into the 49th installment, we know we're not just looking for a Son of Man. We done dug on dragons. We done dug on a fountain. We done dug on things that some might call mythological. But ain't it all mythological? Talking serpents in the garden. Giant slayers. Men walking on water, man. Fountain of youth. I guess we gotta be careful not to pick and choose our mythology, but to continue to search, continue to seek. The forever flow, the immortal flow, the priesthood and the priest king. We talking King David, Dawid, Prester John. Why do we search for David? Because if you don't know by now, we're searching for David. We're searching for the Davids, the priests, the Khans. We're searching for the Moshe. We're searching for the Aarons. We're searching for the Elijahs and the Ezekiels, the Joshuas. I mean, we're just bringing it on home. Melchizedek, we're talking priest king. But why do we search? Why do we seek? For the Israelites must live many days without king or prince. I know it's kind of foreign to seek a king, to seek a Khan is what they mean. To seek your priest without sacrifice or sacred pillar, without the ephod, and no more idols. Afterwards, the people of Israel, I'm talking to you, drop nation, because you got the drop. One day you're going to wake up, you will return to your frequency, your energy, your vibration. You will return, Israel. Yasharah, I'm talking to you. And when you return, you will seek Ahchwa and the priest king and David, their king. Remember, David's anointed, coming from a sinless man. We're talking Yeshai. They will come. Israel will come with awe. With awe, man. What's the difference between fear and awe? I suppose it can be translated the same by the hijack, but when you know you in awe of something, you are fully amazed, you are fully in reverence, you are fully in obedience to the moment, to the flow, to what you're witnessing. And we're witnessing the seals being removed. So why do we dig on mythological books? Because the seal is being removed and the hijack is being exposed. And all that they called a myth, all that they called the last noble image, they called our dragons a myth. We had to look through mythological books to get the drop and come back home to the script to see Psalms 18 clearly, to see 2nd Baruch 73 clearly. And after you return, you will seek Hawa, your creator, your power, and Dawi, their king. We're talking priest king. We're talking Prester, priest, John, king. They will come with all to Hawa. So something about seeking David brings you to his place of awe when you come to Hawa. Something about seeking Hawa and David, because you seek your creator, you know your creator exists. Okay, now what lineage did my creator put down? What breadcrumbs did my creator put down? What have they been searching for? Who have they been searching for? For 500 years, man. So now that you know all your real history is popping off between this time, maybe you're looking between the timelines. Maybe you're even looking to mythology to get the dropout, to see the foundational legend. And we will be getting back into Mosak, the founder. We're talking Moshe. Let's jump into some great comments, man. Ahab to the real ones. Because Jackie Anthony set it off, man. She has been lacing our boots, digging on the priest king. And she's been digging into Georgia on my mind. And we got some drop coming straight out of Rome, Rome, Georgia, that is. Rome, Georgia, that is. Now, just like you, dog, we got to decide, are these just, biblical and ancient place names put in this huge, this huge area they call Georgia? Is it the real deal? Is it the real spill? Is it some type of mimic thing? Like they say Joseph Smith just named all these places in Utah recently, but when you realize and you do the recon and know that it's the old world, when you dig on Camera Mayo and hear him dropping all the connection between you, the Ame'rican priest Hebrew, and the priesthood, the Hebrew. Now you got the connection. Now we can have a conversation. I know it's a little controversial for those that have converted to the excellent new tune. But we're just talking about consciousness. Let us continue. Let go. Jackie Anthony, all the biblical and old world places in Georgia, U.S., Jerusalem, Rome, Lebanon, Antioch, Sparta, Macedonia, Sardonia, Egypt. So we're going to dig on this link. You got all the links, pull them up. Let's go. Looking for the Great Wall of China, founded in Cathay, a.k.a. Mexico. Yeah, you do know we're talking Cathay, which means we're talking Mexico. I said we're talking Cathay, which means we're talking Mexico and India. The land of Prester John, Emperor of the Three Indias. I'm talking Dawi. I'm talking King Dawi. And this is who they were searching for, man. This is who the entire world was searching for. Because they needed the evidence and they needed all the drop. First, they needed the evidence. Then they needed all the drop. When you keep hearing about, these Christians, how they were looking for Prester John to help them against the Muslim or the, Islam, whatever, the Sultan of whatever. We're really talking Moab and that, whole confederacy. And they needed help. they were really looking for a savior too. I mean, they were looking for someone to save them from the Moors over there in Spain and Italy and all throughout, man. So you got this connection there, this connection here. They called this Morocco, right? And they just needed saving. So they say, well, maybe he can save us and then we can take all the drop. Now, for some reason, they stopped searching in 1645, and you know what side of town they were at then. So all the searching in so-called India over there, or Ethiopia over there, or Asia over there, has led to nothing. They kept searching. But then somehow in 1645, when they were getting cozy in America, in the islands, they stopped searching. Exactly 500 years. Searching for who? I'm just saying, man, searching for what, man? We're talking Bagatoni. We're talking Georgia. I mean, look, man, we're just surfing the wave. We're talking Moshe. Yeah, man. Yeah, we're talking Moses the Black. We're talking Priest King Prester John. Let's go, let's go. So Jackie Anthony dropped this drop, man. Let's go dig on some of this Jackie Anthony drop, man. Love to Derwin Walker, man. Please keep on dropping your comments. I do read them, and they definitely inspire me, and got me reconning more and more, man. So just to know that you're involved in the flow here at TDR, the Drop Radio, you know what I mean? The flow, the ether, the wave. We call it the wave. You know, make sure you're taking the Surf the Wave challenge. Make sure you download the app, because that's where it's really real. And that's where we're building. And it's not everything we intend on it being yet. So just stay tuned to see the fullness and witness. Love to Derwin Walker, evening drop, praying and thankful for all. I was digging over some Russian drop, fell into a hole over Romania. Lo and behold, this fella named Vlad the Impala. Uh-oh. Alias to your friend Dracula. Uh-oh. Yeah, we got to dig on Vlad, huh? That reminds me, Derwin. Thawada. Notorious Christian zealot. Uh-oh. I made this man's family history and ferocity and hatred for his enemies. The Boyers, we gotta dig on the Boyers. Was hoping someone within our neighborhood, within Drop Nation, can break it down. Help me with their POV recon. Yeah, man, Derwin Walker got the drop. He's tempting us to dig on it. Zion Train said, yes, King Prester John 27 is missing. Don't even trip. However that happened, I love to Ahchwa. However that happened, it's all good. Because just like the Templar says, 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 is everything and nothing at all, if you know the law of numbers. How convenient that number 9 is missing, right? 27 is missing. But that's all good. We're going to get a bonus, y'all. We're going to get a bonus 51. But we still going to celebrate getting to 50, because we still are in completion, because 2 plus 7 is 9. Uh-oh. Well, yeah, we're going to celebrate. We're going to have some great giveaways and just have a great time celebrating the investigation, the flow. It's never concluded. You know what I mean? No matter if we get to 51, we might go to 60. You know what I mean? Rest in power, man, to honor the homie neighborhood net. We might hit up Prester John 60, man. So we're going to keep flowing, Prester John. Don't even trip, man. We're just getting cozy, reacclimated, resituated over here at 432. So keep on, telling the homies to, do their thing, man. Make sure they check in, clock in. Love to the Templar. Yeah, man, we talked about Aaron and Moshe, and, we talked about Miriam, right? Phantoms and duplicates. Clearly, you got a Mary and Jesus over there, and you got Miriam and Joshua. According to the Quran, Mary gave birth to Joshua. Specifically, the sister of Aaron, it says, gave birth to Joshua. Specifically, the daughter of Imram or Amram gave birth to Joshua. So for those, all those articles we put up where the Christians were saying, Muhammad had it wrong. That's one thing that's pretty spot on, man. But they don't want you to know about the phantoms and duplicates. And the khans and the priest khans. Remember, Joshua led you to your land, fighting hijacks all day. It's a different frequency. It's an ancient love song. It's not this Ezeus, you know what I'm saying, jabroni, you know, telling you to turn the other cheek. All power's been given to me. If you accept that, you accept full, excellent new tuning. How do you think the hijack had it right word for word? Bringing you something must be poisonous. Knowing that there's reflections only means you got to deal with the all natural. Come home to the spiral. It's only one. Only one. It can't be the reflection. You either got Miriam giving birth to Joshua or Mary giving birth to Jesus. Now, once you know you got Miriam giving birth to Joshua, then when you read a story about Mary and Jesus, you might need to know that it's hijacked. Yeah. Those might not be the words of your Hamashiach. Because Jesus never has translated to Joshua, and Joshua has never transliterated or translated to Jesus. And the Torah has never been the same as the Bible, Biblios, compilation, or what did the councils really do? What did the Council of Basel do? What did the Council of Trent do? What did the Council of Nicaea do? If the Bible is the same as the Torah. We're talking phantoms and duplicates. Because ain't nothing the same about Deuteronomy and 1 Thessalonians. Can you dig it? Excellent new tune. Hijack City. And it's the third wave. And we washing up all the hijack. And if it hijacks in our way, it's a hijack that gets washed. I mean, you're just surfing the wave. You might need to watch out for the mem if you're coming with that static. Yo, Aki keep hitting them all up in their face bone, man. That's all I'm talking about all day. Because we know her as Miriam, the Lady Dracan. Shout out to my sisters, my queens, all our daughters, Lady Dracans of Levi all day long. We're talking Miriam, progenitor of a praise. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. We're talking Cathars. I have two images of Cathars. They are black Israelites. They mostly show the white followers, converts, but try to hide the black leaders. We're talking Cathars. Remember, they got rolled up on the same damn time. We're talking Byzantine. We're talking Mosak. We're talking Cappadocia. We're talking Mazaka. We're talking the Mashika. This ain't no play. This ain't no play. Oh man, back to the 10th, he said, so Nestor himself was born 1056. Yeah, I peeped that. You know, every time they say a Nestorian, he's really a Nestorian Christian. Why make a distinction? What's this Nestor about? We did the etymology. It's only old king renowned for wise counsel, old king renowned for wisdom. And there's a Nestor, and they say everyone's connected to this Nestor, which is code word for Hebrews. Nestor himself born 1056. Christ is born around 1053 according to Anatoly. Got it. According to the hijack, Jesus is born 3 or 4 BC under our current Gregorian calendar. So who or where is Nestor in that time system? Are we back to John the Baptist? Who got the drop? Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt the Yapapa. Tim always apologizes for interrupting the flow, but he gives you the flow. Let's go. This is beautiful, man. Love to SFJ for the Most High. All right, let's go. When you read the book on the issues with the Dark Ages in the Drop Library, Flamenco says that the historians, the Catholic Scaligeri, did these shifts of creating new history by repeating points of history often in order to hide the fact that history is in general is not as far back as they claim it is. It's some crazy ish that lies to hide the truth. See, Drum Nation, you really surfing the wave, and I appreciate that. I mean, we're talking Hittites, Kitai, Cathay, Kitai. Hey, I can dig it, kid. I can dig it. I can dig it. Love the 7-7 short time. She said, you are putting a puzzle together. I mean, literally best drop of all time. The cat's out the bag now. It's a body bag, pure Owata. Love the 7-7 Showtime. And love to her son, man. Incredible boxer coming up. You know what I mean? The bro is really sharp as a tack. Strong brother, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to the Viper. You're gonna see him, you know what I mean, hitting a ring near you, man. Great boxer coming up. I mean, dope individual, man. Love to the Viper. Let's get it, man. Eliza Moon, what it do to the Johnson family? What it do, man? I ain't mad at you making my work day go by. Yeah, I did a double drop that day. So she said, all right, man. That's 4 hours of recon. Damn near 5 hours of recon. Let's go. Let go. 4 Moseses, 1 original, north, south, east, and west, with a mirror or expansion. Growth for it expanded her. Okay, Sky Shark. All right, man. Sounds good, man. All right, let's go. What's the meaning of Carolina? Thank you. All I can tell you is what's the meaning of Kara. And the meaning of Kara is black or melanated, right? And the meaning of the Kitai is the pure, where it was called over here by the brother kid, Kitai, Cathay, Kitan. Hittites, perhaps, right? He's just dropping a drop. But we know when we talk Kitai and Kitan, we're talking Israel. So we're not just talking Hittites, you know what I mean? But if you're just talking purity, you're talking titles, all right. Hey, man, Drop Nation dropping that drop, man. So, all right, y'all keep surfing the wave. Y'all please keep leaving the comments. I'm going to keep on, dropping them, man. I haven't forgot about our trivia. It's just I'm just been digging on 49. And after that, we're going to catch up on all the trivia, all the good stuff. We got a lot of giveaways coming on Prester John 50 anyway. So don't even trip on that. It's a beautiful thing. Glass Moon said, you got the links, Shabata. Dig on it. That's all we talking about, Jackie Anthony. They got the links. Let's pull them up. Because all we talking about is Rome. And all we need to know is all roads, man. All roads, man. All roads lead to Rome. All roads lead from Rome, facing the history of the Cherokee expansion. Great article by Sarah H. Hill in Atlanta. So when you talk Rome, just like we just, said, Sister Jackie Anthony dropped some drop on these place names, right? Pull up the links. Ancient Georgia place names. So is it play, or is this real connection to the old world? And once you realize with real eyes that you're in the old world, then you know that what's his name? Joseph Smith came in Utah and recently named those names. This is the old world, man. I can dig on saying, all right, well, maybe Judah's over here, maybe Israel, Jerusalem's over here. You can do that all day, but don't tell me it ain't over here, though. Don't tell me it ain't around this place. We can have all our theories all day, but some things we do know. We know we're in the old world. We know we're indigenous to the so-called old world. We know we're not spinning on a ball. We know we're in the frequency and we tuned up. We're in the vibration. We know we're in that 432. And right now, we even getting our chakras cleansed, man. While we dig on the drop. We even getting our chakras cleansed, man, in 432 hertz. Because that's how much we digging on it, man. As we meditate up, as we vibrate up. Hold up. Let's make sure we got the water. Drop Nation got the water. We searching for Prester John. We seeking our priest king. Because we know that one day Israel will wake up and return and seek their creator and David, their king. They will come with all to Ahchwa in his goodness and to his goodness, man. So when you seek David, you're seeking Ahchwa, you're seeking the goodness of our creator, of our power. the goodness of the forever covenant of our ancestors, that they even got to hijack today and say, son of David, son of David. David must be one special cat, man. If you're still calling on his name, even in that hijack reflection, excellent new tune, you still got to call on David, 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 son of David, because that makes them real. They're using your programming. They're giving you some realness to connect to, because they ain't got none. If you know this is Joshua, then ask yourself, is Joshua a son of David? I'll wait. If you really think Joshua is Jesus, and you're really still dealing with the spell, the God's spell, do you really think Joshua is the son of David? Well, hey, I could surf the wave if we find evidence that Joshua is the son of David. But if I'm just going across according to the script, I didn't see Joshua listed as none of the sons of David, nor does the script say that Joshua is of Judah. And if Joshua's not of Judah, and he's not directly a son of David, and we know that this lineage is a direct lineage that we are digging on, then who are they calling son of David? Or are they just reaching to connect to a priest king, to a priesthood? Nah, you ain't got to reach, man. You ain't got to reach. You right here in the script. In the script, in Joshua 3, Hosea 3. You're doing according to the script by seeking the Creator and David. So anyone saying on the sidelines, after 49 installments of this series, still think we're digging on anything else, you must not really be surfing the way. You must not be paying no kind of attention. They say Prester John's an invader. He must have been the one that invaded us. You hear all this murmuring. Murmurers, man, never changed. They were murmuring back then. They murmuring now. They get you sidetracked. They've been trying to get you off this investigation. Everyone's been trying to get us off the investigation, but we keep searching because they kept searching. And if they kept searching, we can do a better job seeking Ahchwa. We can do a better job seeking David. Because in that way, you will come with all to Ahchwa and to his goodness in the what? Last days. Now, I don't know when the last day is, but I know these are the last days of this frequency war. And we're seeking our Creator, our power, and David. And all roads are leading from Rome. Rome what? Let's look for it. Ancient Georgia place names love the Jackie Anthony. All right, so we got Egypt. We got Egypt, Georgia. We got a Cairo. Today they pronounce it Cairo. All right. You got all the Greek drop, right? And we know Maccabees, and we know, some of this Greek story. And we know how this is when the real iconoclasm started. I mean, this is one of the first captivities, this Greek captivity that literally, came to erase everything about you. Murmurs on the sidelines, right? You hear our bros, I mean, it's something, man. It's something. saying that the Greeks are the Creeks and the Creeks are the Greeks. I mean, I see you with the one letter rule, G's and C's. But are you saying that the Creeks are the ones that tried to erase the history of these other indigenous people, these other Americans, that they were putting us in the frying pans and trying to force us to eat swine and sacrificing swine on our altars like the Greeks? Are you saying the Creek Indians were doing that? Come on, man. See, when you're not focused, when you don't have a pivot point, when you don't have any anchor, and you're stuck in an excellent new tune, you might start saying stuff like the Greeks are the Creeks. But we know the Greek hijack, the Greek invasion. We know the Greek captivity. We know that story. And things don't really match up when you see the way the Greeks were rocking versus the Creeks. Now, what's the real? We're talking titles and we're talking phantoms and we're talking duplicates. So what's the original? And what's the foundation? And what are we dealing with when we talk about all of these places? Sparta, Ephesus, Thebes, Corinth, Sardis, Antioch, Smyrna, Troy, Jerusalem. How many? 2 towns in Georgia have used this Jerusalem name. One in Pickens County, one in Camden County. Camden County. Sometimes instead of saying con, they say com. Interesting, man. Which still exists today near the Satia River. So there's a Jerusalem still existing near the Satia River today. I dig on the Satia River. And then you got another one that used to exist. They changed this one. Why'd they change it? That was one in Pickens County. Okay. You got Bethlehem. Uh-oh. Damascus. Uh-oh. Ebenezer. You have Eden and Effingham. All right. Then you got Rome, Georgia. Naturally, one cannot discuss ancient place names without mentioning perhaps the greatest of them all, Rome. According to Federmanco, according to these, chronographers, this Rome and this Jerusalem might be one and the same. We're just talking titles. We're just talking titles, man. And I do want to actually dig more into the creeks. You know what I mean? We got this link up somewhere here, man. Oh, there we go. The Creek War of 1813 and 1814. We're just talking to Tecumseh. We're just talking to Comet, right? 1811, 1812 Comet, Tecumseh. Then there's a Creek War, 1813, 1814. Maybe digging on this will give us more insight into the reality. You know what I mean? Because all these are titles. The Creek didn't call themselves the Creek. Chickamauga didn't call themselves the Chickamauga, right? So put the titles aside and put the story together and dodge the hijack at all costs, man. At all costs, dodge the hijack. Love the natural by law. So let's get it, man. All roads lead from Rome. Facing the history of the Cherokee expulsion, 1838 expulsion of the Cherokee Nation from the state of Georgia culminated a decade of oppressive policies and more than 2 decades of federal pressure on Native Americans to give up their homelands to whites. The expulsion occurred over 6 weeks, under the supervision of soldiers stationed at 14 sites In North Georgia, evidence from each site documents the individual and institutional abuse spawned by the state's policies, locates the sources of whites' aggression, and remembers the Cherokees who navigated the treacherous road of removal. Sarah Hill examines the historic evidence against a minority population and culture in this essay about Cherokee expulsion from Rome, Georgia. We're just talking about expulsion from Rome. Now, surf the wave when we dig on the Rome, right? The Roma. That's what I mean by titles and clarity, you know what I mean? Now, we know the hijack takes on our titles, our flow. So all we need to know is what's the foundation, and this is how you prove it. You get to the root of it all. And love to the bro. Again, when we talk Rome, what are we talking again? What are we talking again? Remember, we got this. Oh, yeah. We're going to be back on the Brackatonis. We're going to be back on the Brackatonis, man. Someone said, come on, drop. You tripping, man. You know the Brackatoni were this Persian empire. Don't take no light from the Persians, man. Are you talking to, Babylonian drop? You talking Babylon? Because last time that I checked, we're talking exilarchs and Hebrews in captivity in Babylon, during Babylon, which is what you would call Persia, right? Iraq, right? So-called. Where's the real Persia, though? I mean, we're digging on Babylon. We're digging on word of the day. We even talking about Rome, man. Rome, man. Redmon. See, this is where they get the Roman from. So we can get to the root of it all. And we can connect. Oh, clearly this title's being used by the hijack. What Hebrew word does Greek come from? So we need to know the actual, what they say, root word or philology to break down the language if you're talking about the same people. Ramon, fruit of the boom, man. So they comparing them with their, Jewish hijack Rosh Hashanah, but we know we're just talking new beginnings, man. And we're not talking their hijack New Year. We're talking about the real new beginnings. And when you talk Ramon or head of the year, most American Jews would say Apple is associated with the Rosh Hashanah or the head of the year. Most American Jews, right? Hijacks, but we're just digging on a reality. Let's go. In Israel, though, there's another fruit that has at least as prominent a place at the New Year table, the Remman. See how they pronounce it right here? Remman. Redmon. Here we all day. Tribe Nation, no, we don't play. Oh, Redmon. Hey, man, I think that's a new hot song. I think we just need to put a beat on it. And we just need to sing it together. Redmon. Drop Nation, here we all day. Oh, man, we're going to slap that with my jigger. Let's go, man. Let's go. We just talking Redmon. The Hebrew word for pomegranate and grenade or grenade. So either you blowing some shit up or we're just talking about the pure water, huge apple fruit, crown top fruit. Let's go. Given the word is used in the Bible to describe one of the 7 species of Israel and one of the fruits the 12 spies brought back from their surveillance. We're talking Joshua, right? We're talking Joshua, we're talking Caleb. It's funny when you talk to Jesus' character and they actually new to it. I mean, we're going to keep our foot on this hijack this entire time. We ain't letting up on it. It's gone too far. The price is going up. Now, when you talk this Jesus character, you got him popping up on. He's born. Okay, he's born. Next time you meet him, he's 12 years old, having some argument, and then he's 30, right? And he's 30 something, whatever. You know what I mean? So bang, bang, bang. You got 3 different times to meet this JC. And you wonder, like, where's all this missing years, man? Where's the missing years between 18 or 12 and 30? Where's the 18 missing year? And you go back and you dig on this Joshua situation, and you got, him, Caleb, marching with Moshe, doing their thing, going on their campaigns. The story's connecting. It's making sense. He's hijack free. He's getting you on your land, man. We done dug on him being the son of Miriam, which will make him the nephew of Moshe, which still ain't, connecting him necessarily, to son of David, unless we're digging on the, theory of Moshe being David and him being a nephew of David. I mean, we can dig on, theories, we can get theoretical right here, that's no problem. We enjoy surfing away. But what can we dig on when you talk this Rimonim? Rimonim can be found in the ancient Jewish text. Hebrew is hardly the only language to make the association between the red crown-top fruit that has reputed healing properties and symbolizes abundance and fertility. That is new life. So spotting this pomegranate, remember it was big, and these weren't no little pomegranates. And they needed help carrying them back, right? So this symbolized new life, man. Same thing they say, pomegranate juice is also called dragon juice, right? Because it has these healing properties. The OG pomegranates. I don't know about these new ones, but the OG ones. Healing properties symbolize abundance, fertility. So when you talk about Granada on the maps, Granada, where's the real Granada? Where's the real pomegranate? Where's the real pomegranate? And when Joshua and Caleb found the drop, where did they find it for real, for real? And you'll be led right back home, man. Right back home, man. So we're just talking Raymond, here we all day. The fruit of the boom, which means we're just talking Rome. Right. Georgia led the United States in expulsion of the Cherokee Nation from its homeland. In the spring of 1838, more than 2,000 soldiers arrested some 9,000 Cherokee Indians. Georgia Cherokees confined them briefly, then marched them to holding camps in East Tennessee to await their miserable trek to Indian Territory 800 miles away. Removed from Georgia in June, the last detachment of Cherokees left the Tennessee camps in November. Images of grieving natives stumbling westward seized the popular imagination, throwing into shadow the record of how, when, why, and where the expulsion began. In succeeding years, the emphasis on suffering reduced the Cherokees to anonymous victims, or they became mythology, and obscured the activities of those who enabled and enforced their expulsion. The missing accounts of Cherokee removal emerge most vividly in the stories of each removal site as the home of the Cherokee Nation's most prominent leaders and the location of 2 military removal stations. Rome, Georgia, has much to teach. We're just talking Rome, man. We're just talking Rome, man. Raymond. Drop Nation, here we all day. Oh. All right, man, let's go. Love to Jackie Anthony for the Rome drop. Inspiration. Let's keep it flowing. And that's what I want to do, man. Let's get back. Let's do this. This is a little link. I just looked up, uses of the word Georgia. Found this link, sentenceyourdictionary.com. All right. I was working in Georgia. All right, so it has all these. Let me see the one I was looking for. So these are all different sentences using the word Georgia. But something popped up. Yeah. See, now it's getting real. We're talking Constantinople. See something? You see how it starts getting real? Now they call Georgia also Carthilla. Like Cathy. Carthalia. Getting real Cathay on us. Let's go. We're just talking Constantinople. We're just talking Byzantine, Bragantuni dynasty, Kingdom of Georgia. What else, man? Let's go. Oh, yeah, it's getting real. It's getting real. Yeah, y'all tell me what y'all see, man. You might find you a little golden nugget in here. As you can see, there's a lot of drop around Georgia. Yeah, I'm just digging on this with you. Okay. Uh-oh. That's what I saw. A little Prester drop. It could be something, could be nothing, right? It's just a failure in history of the Gurkha to meet all points in the story of the Bishop of Gabala led Professor Brune of Odessa to bring forward another candidate for identity with the original Prester John. We're talking Georgia, we're talking Prester John. You're talking Georgia, you're talking Prester John. In the person of the Georgian prince John Obelion, the Sabasala, or Generalissimo under several kings of Georgia in that age. Sound like you're trying to say King of Kings, right? Original Prester John. So there's this John Orbelian that I have not dug on, but I told you, man, we might have to go to 60 for the homie Nip. So hey, we got plenty of space and opportunity to dig on John Orbelian, just so we don't forget. We just throw them over here, get our preliminary recon flow. Oh man, what's all this, man? Stephen. Monk. All right. We're just talking John Orbelian. I mean, how crazy can it get? Uh-oh. The Book of Sir Marco Polo, the Venetian concerning the king. All right, this is volume 2, edited by Sir Henry Yule. We're just talking John Orbelian. Now, this is the same period as the Yellow Dashi, right? Remember, we dug on Yellow Dashi, and Yellow Dashi was around the same period and definitely seemed to be a precursor to the Prester flow. And I mean, when we know they're looking for 500 years and we know he got the fountain of youth, we can't be thrown off by any numbers. See, this one they say they started searching for him in 1145. This John Arbilion, he said, let's go up a little bit. Oh, this is Persian, this is Armenian, man. Everybody's stealing our history, man. Don't get mad because we taking it back. Don't get mad because we taking it back. This got some drop, though. I've never seen this drop. It's got some drop, though. Abkhazia. All right, says, it is true that the Georgians were not really Nestorians, but followers of the Greek church. So which Georgians are we talking about? And who's the Nestorians, right? So it is true that the Georgians were not really Nestorians. So at what point, because you remember this kingdom of Georgia had its own rift at the same time. We dug on that. I don't know if we still got that up. We got Alania up. All right. We got some sword drop. I got a Tangut drop. Let me use this one here. Just, let's see if we can see a rift here in the kingdom of Georgia. All right, Kingdom of Georgia, also known as the Georgian Empire. Remember, we linked the word Georgia with Yori or, Genghis, basically Changus. So these are other words for possibly this title that Khan or Genghis Khan is flowing with. All these are titles, though, so keep that in mind. Was a medieval Eurasian monarchy. So medieval Eurasian, we're just talking Russia. We're talking the Rus. Emerged circa 1008. So in that case, Prester John, this priest king, would be coming in this Georgian flow. And if it emerged in 1008, that even predates Genghis. Let's go. It reached its golden age of political and economic strength during the reign of King David IV. King David IV, also known as David the Builder. Yeah. You say he died in 1125? Come on, man. I can't make this up. Man, we just dug on John. Are we talking Prester John? We're talking John Arbilion, 1123, 1124. Now, this David IV, they said died in 1135. I think Yellow Dashi died around the same time when we talked the Mongol flow. Do you see the evidence of your history being flipped, split off, different titles, different names, different kings, same king? Now let's read this slowly. This is this Marco Polo drop that we just investigating in real time. All right, let's go. Let go. We just talking who? Wait. We were looking for the schism, right? We're looking for the split. Because at the same time that this Genghis Khan, Prester John split, war happened, early 1200s. Let's see what happens with the Kingdom of Georgia. It reached its golden age of political and economic strength during the reign of King David the Fourth and Queen Tamar the Great, Lady Dragon. Let's go. From 11th to the 13th centuries. That's the 1200s. That's the golden age. So in the takedown of Prester John in 1202, 1203 by this Khan, Genghis Khan, all right. Then you got Batu Khan, which some say is Prester John's son, some say it's his younger brother. Either way, Batu Khan became what they call Vatican. Vatican today is Batu Khan. Batu Khan, Vatican. Vatican, Batu Khan. So this is the, you know what I'm saying, when you talk about, you know, these councils and all this Christianity and all this stuff that was invented and split up and reflections and duplicates, you have to look directly at the lineage of Genghis Khan, forming the Batu Khan Vatican. And what's the mission? Before you start quoting Hamashiach, what's the mission? What image are you saying died for our sins? And if an image died for our sins, then what's been the result in the last 2,000 years? We still in hell. We still sleep. We still being murdered. We still dying for our sins. How can one image die for our sins and not nullify all this death and destruction and chaos? Oh, we get the benefit after death? Oh, one day we get to say, you know what? I'm tied to JC. He died for my sins 2,000 years ago. Did it just happen in 1153? He died for my sin 1,000 years ago. So what's changed since then? Oh, you still waiting? My naga, you've been dying for your sins. You've been afflicted and you've been crucified. And that image represents your struggle and your crucifixion, your invasion. They turned you inside out. Wakey, wakey. Because this empire, this kingdom of Georgia, oh, we're just talking Rome. We're just talking Roma, Romani. We're just talking Redman. Drop Nation, here we all day. Oh, Ramon, Rome, Pomegranate, Granada, Georgia. So whether we're connecting with Russia or we're connecting right here, which is all the same cross, all the same tile. I mean, yo, it's always going to represent you. They can color the images. They can try to take you out the flow. It's always going to represent you. And what happened with this schism, it says that this was at a golden age between the 11th and 13th centuries. That's a body bag for what's really popping off, especially when we connect the Babylonian flow. So before you start talking Persia to us, know that we're talking Babylonian exilarchs, man. Exilarchs in Babylonian captivity, man. At the same damn time. We're just talking King David IV. We're talking exilarchs, man. Yeah, we're talking Brackertoni dynasty. Yeah, we're talking Dawei. See, we ain't trying to take nobody's history. We ain't got to take nobody's history. We are the book. Georgia became one of the preeminent nations of the Christian East. Dr. Hijack. Her pan-Caucasian empire stretching at its largest extent from Eastern Europe, North Caucasus, Northern Persian, Iran, Anatolia. All right. So they stretching over there. They're saying Monastery of the Cross in Jerusalem and the Monastery of Ivry in Greece. It was the principal historical precursor of present-day Georgia. Lasting for several centuries, the kingdom fell. What happened? Was there a schism here too at the same time? Research the schism of 1054 if you want to know more. The kingdom fell to the Mongol invasions in the 13th century. What Mongols? What Tartars? Now we're talking Genghis Khan, Gurkhan invading King David. King David. We got this Babylonian captivity happening. Now, once this Genghis invades, now you got this Nebuchadnezzar who has David's second son in captivity, Daniel, who's a sinless man without transgression. Let's go. So there was an invasion. There was a schism. Got you. Okay. Got you. So what's up, Marco? What's up, Polo? The intention to march to the aid of the Christians in Palestine is more like the act of Georgian general than that of Kara-Kathayan. Oh, you mean Kara-Kathayan? We're still just talking Cathay. We're still just talking Priest King. We're still just talking Prester John Cathay. And this is what they call Kathayan, Cathayan. You're right here in India, Superior, Mexico. Where is the Great Wall of Kana, China, Mexico? So you hear Donald Trump talking about building a wall, he's just laughing in your face because that's where the Great Wall is, ain't it? Sister Jackie, Anthony, we got to dig on that. Karakatayan Khan, right? So it's more like the act of a Georgian general than a Karakatayan Khan, and there are in the history of the Kingdom of Jerusalem several indications of the proposals, at least of Georgian assistance. Okay. The personage in question is said to have come from the country of the Magi. What personage, what noble image coming from the Magi country? Are we talking America? For these have frequently been supposed to come from Great Armenia. Now we're talking about the Ame'rican. Let's go. The name Ekbatana has been so variously applied that it was likely to lead to ambiguities, but it so happens in the previous passage of history, Bishop Otto of Friesland, in rehearsing some Oriental information gathered apparently from the Bishop of Kabbalah, has shown what was the place that he had taught to identify. He had been taught to identify with Ekbatana, the old Armenian city. So they were taught to identify these things. This doesn't mean that they were, that they were oriented. They were taught to identify this place with Ekbatana, the old Armenian city of Ani. Now it says, now this city was captured from the Turks on behalf of the king of Georgia, David the Restorer, by his great Sabbasalar John or Bilian in 1124. 1123, 1124. So they're saying this Ekbatana was captured from the Turks. So these Turks, you could call them, titles, right? But a lot of times when they talk Tartary, even when they're talking Turks, sometimes they're still just talking Genghis Khan or that particular flow. They're talking, an Islam flow, or, a Moab, Ammon flow, these are all titles, man. So either way, Prester John had the Sultan paying tribute. David had the Sultan paying tribute. So here comes this David now taking from the Turks something that I'm sure they would say belonged to them. Ekbatana, Ba'atana. Professor Broom also lays stress upon a passage in German Chronicle of dates some years later than Otho's work. And this is all in Latin. He asks how the Gurkhan of Kara Katai, so now they're spelling it. Let's get it bigger. If they let us get it bigger. All right, let's get as big as we go. So he asks how the Gurkhan of Kara Katai. So before they say Kara Kathayan, so we know Cathay is Katai. Kara means black. Cathay Katai means pure. He asks how the Gurkhan of Akara Katai could be styled king of Armenia and of India. It may be asked per contra how either the king of Georgia or his Peshwa To use the Maharata analogy of John Orbelian's position, could be styled king of Armenia and of India. In this reply, Professor Broom adduces a variety of quotations which he considers as showing that the term India was applied to some Caucasian region. Oh, we know India was applied to, a whole lot of regions. But India's superior, though, seem to be applied to one particular region, also called Grand Tartary, right? I mean, the Moors of Ame'rican just call this Northwest Africa. Old Egypt, Atlantis, Ame'rican, Okay, so we're just digging on this new drop. We're just digging on this new drop for us. So, all right. My own conviction is that the report of Otto of Friesland is not merely the first mention of a great Asiatic potentate called Prester John, but that his statement is the whole and sole basis of good faith on which the story of such a potentate rested. And I am quite as willing to believe, on due evidence, that the nucleus of the fact to which his statement referred, and on which such a pile of long-enduring fiction was erected, occurred in Armenia as that it occurred in Torah. So we're just talking about Prester John the whole time. And why did we even start digging on this, man? Let's go, man. I mean, we just been surfing away the whole time. Oh, yeah, we got some great drop coming up. Georgia on my mind. Oh, yeah. We were just talking about sentence, yourdictionary.com. We just put in Georgia, and they led us to George Orbelian. And then we just threw that in there, threw that in the matrix, and we got Marco Polo, Venetian, and it led us directly back to Prester John. You see how that works when you surfed away? In real time, man. In real time. All right. Well, let's keep going. I mean, now we're just getting warmed up. We're back. Actually, this is the first time I think we dropped this one. This is Swords from the East. Another, piece of recon. I just dug up, just searching some of your great comments, man, and it led me to more Prester drop. We're just talking the Swords of the East. Let's just dig on a few paragraphs of this, man. It says, the failure of envoys he had sent to Prester John to return had decided Genghis Khan that war with the Caryats was unavoidable. War with the Caryats, Caryats, was unavoidable. And the master of the horde, once his mind was made up, had moved at once towards Tangu, following the northern edge of the sandy desert where his horses would find grazing. Genghis Khan had sent Chip Noyan to the well to find Berta and bring the gypsy girl to him. All right, let's keep going. I mean, this is like a cool little dialogue piece. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if we get some drop out of this. He trusts me, said the tiger moodily, although I am a Caryat, but it is not fitting that I should command a two-man in the coming battle between Prester John and Genghis Khan. I like this, because they're going right in, realizing, that this went down. So they're trying to choose sides, and this kind of is a good perspective of those that were caught in the middle, you know what I mean? Because the more we dig on Genghis Khan, the more we feel, we might be digging on, not just any type of hijack. I just don't want to just throw that, I want to dig and see really where this Genghis Khan was coming from. You know what I mean? Really want to get the story, you know what I mean? Not just from one perspective, not from a bias, but to say, all right, why did you feel you had the title? Why did you take the title David? If Genghis Khan is the nephew of Prester John, then he's a David. I mean, he's related to him, you know, enough to feel like he's a David. He wanted to marry into the Davidic line and with Prester John or King David's or King David the Fourth or David Slauson or Raja Hiraja. All these Davids were digging up at the same time, Yellow Dashi. He wanted the daughter so that he can, you know, be confirmed in that way. And Prester John said, hell no, nah, man. I took you in, but now you asked too much. And they went to war. That's what we know so far. So I do not understand why my people have taken up the sword. How did the messengers from the Three Rivers perish? Why did Jamaica take his stand beside Prester John? So people are choosing sides, man. People are choosing sides, man. All right, we're doing good. Let's go. Mingan pondered a while. I can see a little both of treachery and trickery, but if Genghis Khan is on the march, there is little time to learn the truth. Since you came nearly due south to the well, the Mongols must be as near to Tangu as we. If you are faithful to Temujin, that's Genghis, you should ride to Tangu at once. So one was choosing Prester John's side, the other was choosing Genghis's or Temujin's side. I, on Jamaica's trail, I was sent to find Berta and bring her home safely, and that I would do. Nay, you would fail. One way is open for us, to seek out the daughter of Podu, and at the same time to seek behind the mask of our enemy, who goes about in the skin of a bear. It was not Prester John who raided our tents and who was overthrown by my horse. So they're going back and forth, man, protecting both sides. It's a pretty neutral read right here, right? Who wears the mask of a bear went on Mingham calmly, and that way leads us to Prester John himself. Berta had saved Mingan's life, and he knew now that the wayward girl loved Genghis Khan. To venture in the camp of Jamaica's army after her would be to search for one grain of sand in the desert. Their only recourse was to seek an audience with Prester John of the Christians. Are we talking Nestorians, right? In the castle of Tangu, and to put their case before him, since he alone had power to overrule Jamaica. So Prester John still had the Khan that Genghis Khan wanted. He explained this to Chepi Noyan, who was only half convinced. Yet in the time of my father Mingan and his father, no one of our village has seen the face of Prester John. Sound a lot like Moses in that regard, how they, no one could, look at his face. He has lived for 12 times 100 years. He is a magician. Whoa. Well, we know they were searching for this magi for at least 500 years. We know that, in the Prester John letter, it said he took 6 baths in the fountain of youth, and each time turned back to the age of 32. 6 baths, each time turned back to 32. Huh. And he probably was living 1,000 years before that. I mean, it's damn near 6,000, you know what I mean? So is this crazy? When you got the fountain, when you're the magi, when you're Dawi, anointed, immortal, one shepherd forever. David, their king, they will come in awe. They will seek Hawaii and David. I just wanted to remember something here. I'm about to refine them and test them for what else can I do because of my dear people. Their tongues are deadly arrows. Their speech deception. With his mouth one speaks peaceably with his friend, but inward he sets up an ambush. Should I not punish them for these things? This is Hawa's declaration. Should I not avenge myself on such a nation as this? I will raise weeping and a lament over the mountains, a dirge over the wilderness grazing land, for they have been so scorched that no one passes through. The sound of cattle is no longer heard. From the birds of the sky to the animals, everything has fled. They have gone away. I will make Jerusalem a heap of rubble, a jackal's den, a dragon's den. I will make the cities of Judah a desolation, an uninhabitable place. It is because they abandoned my instruction. Why do you think you went a long time without a king or a priest? We have abandoned the instructions. Wow, wow. We're talking of Babylonian exile. This is what Hawa says in this way. Within 2 years, I will break the yoke of King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon from the neck of all the nations. The prophet Jeremiah then went on his way after the prophet Hananiah had broken the yoke of bar from his neck of the prophet Jeremiah. The word of Hawa came to Jeremiah, go say to Hananiah, this is what Hawa says, you broke a wooden yoke bar, but in its place you will make an iron yoke bar. For this is what the Lord of armies, Hawa of Israel, says, I have put an iron yoke on the neck of all these nations, that they might serve King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, and they will serve him. If we're surfing the wave of Nebuchadnezzar being Genghis Khan, then you can see why the Most High was rocking with him to invade, to put a yoke. We see why Daniel was in captivity. I've even put the wild animals under him. Who? Nebuchadnezzar, Genghis, Changus, Shalmaneser. The Most High is the reason for the season. This don't mean it's over. It means that you're getting what the Most High said. Why? Because we have not paid attention. We have abandoned the instruction, the flow. Look around you, man. King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, and they will serve him. I've even put the animals under him, even the dragons. He even had the dragon drop, man. I'm about to send you off the face of the earth, man. You will die this year because you have preached rebellion against Hawa. We're just talking Hananiah. Amen. We're just talking to Babylonian exiles. We're talking to exilarchs. We're talking to kingdom. We're talking to Bragatoni. We're talking David. Yet in the time our father, no one has seen the face of Prester John. He has lived 12 times 100 years. He is a magician. David will rise again. I will raise them up. Oh, y'all thought it was play. So now that all that has happened, you went into captivity, then what happens? I will restore them to the land I gave to their ancestors. I will restore them to the land, India superior. I will restore them, Cathay, Meshi, Meshika, Mosaka, Mosak. We will be digging on Mosak, the founder. We're just talking America. Is this what they're calling Armenia? I will restore them to the land I gave their ancestors, and they will possess it. We're talking about Jacob's trouble. I will break his yoke from your neck and tear off your chains, and strangers will never again enslave him. Has this happened yet? Or is this a prophecy? Because I think you're in captivity right now. Unless the Most High is on that play, this might be a prophecy. This might be Jeremiah being prophetic. Whatever you're reading has not happened yet, because your chains ain't been broken and you're still a slave. Strangers will never again enslave him. They will serve their Lord. They will serve Ahchwa, their power. And who? David, their king, whom I will raise up for them. So since we know we're talking a prophecy of when the strangers will no longer enslave you ever again, sometime in the future, my Naga, that you'll never be in captivity again. This is the moment. This is the time that David, the priest king, whom I, Ahchwa, will raise up for them. Therefore, Jacob, as for you, don't be afraid. This is Ahchwa's declaration, and do not be discouraged, Israel, for without fail I will save you out of your distant place, your descendants from the land of their captivity. I will raise up David, whom I will raise up for them. Oh, he's 1,200 years old. Fountain of youth, shepherd forever, whom I will raise up for them. Let's go. We're just talking the swords from the east. He lived 12 times 100 years. He is a magician. He is a magician, man. Y'all keep reading. It's a great drop. Some great drop, I could tell. I got a lot to dig on in here. Let's pick it up right here, man. Because we've been talking about Marco Polo. And was he really, just jotting down his travels? Or was he specifically talking about or trying to make clear an area that they've never been before? An area like America, that side of the world didn't have no drop on. Oh, yeah. This is very interesting because we've been talking about the Edzanoa, and this is a city called Edzina. All right. Could be everything, could be nothing. But we know this Edzanoa is connected to this Kansas or Kansas. We know it's connected to the cities of gold. That says when you leave this city of Campechu, like Machu Picchu, huh? You ride for 12 days and then reach a city called Edzina, which is towards the north on the verge of the sandy desert. It belongs to the province of Tangu, so we're still talking Tangu. The people are idolaters and possess plenty of camels and cattle, and the country possesses a number of good falcons, both sakers and laners. The inhabitants live by their cultivation and their cattle, for they have no trade at the city. You must needs lay in victuals for 40 days, because when you quit Edzina, you enter on a desert which extends 40 days' journey to the north. 40 days, 40 nights, on which you meet with no habitation or bathing place. In the summertime, indeed, you will fall in with people, but in the winter, it's too cold. It's too cold. Yedzena, found in Chinese map of Tartary. This got any drop to do with Edzeno, man? We're just talking Tangu. Because if this does got something to do with Edzeno, this Edzena, then we're narrowing down that Tangu is also right here with you, as we already know. When we talk China, we know we're just talking China. So we know we're talking Tangu around here somewhere, man. Somewhere, man. Wait a minute. Whoa. Hey. Hey. Only the wave, man. Wow. I did not see this Tangu right up here, man. Come on, did y'all see this? Tangu. Whoa. You can't just say, oh, this India Superior is just misplaced when it has all the drop. Cathay, China, and Tangu. Come on, man. I can't make this stuff up, man. Whether you're talking the Swords of the East, all right, whether you're talking that other Marco Polo drop, there's only recourse to seek an audience with Prester John in the castle of Tangu. So instead of the L, they put a T. Tangu. Right here with you, right here with me. Tangu. Remember the tannin? Remember you're just still talking dragon drop with the tannin? The tannin? I'll make this place an inhabitants of dragons, huh? So this looks, upper into Canada, all right? Canada got the Tangu drop. Let's go, man. Let's go. Wow, we got Tangu, man. So it said, Prester John, I'm have to make an audience over there in the Tangu castles. Okay. And again, man, pay attention to this Greenland situation. How, because some say, oh, you can just cross over Atlantis to get to America. And this Greenland, there's theories that it was shifted down and that this could be Atlantis, which is why no one goes to Greenland, But let's go, man. Let's go. It's a lot of drop. We're just talking Tangu. This river was part of the frontier of the kingdom of Tangu. Situated on a river on the border of the desert at the top of a triangle whose basis would be Sukau and Konkau. This river was part of the frontier of the kingdom of Tangu. Huh? Tangu. And if you look close, you see the actual cross right here, the T, man. So this is Tangu, man. This is the same word, Tangut. I keep thinking it's an L, but that's a T right there, man. Look closely. See that thing right there? So this is Tangu, man. I mean, come on, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. This is amazing. And we got this right here in America. So when we read this Marco Polo drop, we know we're just talking America, man. Wow. All right, leading you to the water. We're just talking Tangu. Let me tell you how dope this is in real time. I'm over here looking for Tangu. I'm looking for a map with Tangu on it in America. They're just leading me over there. But you see what they got over there. Now you can just overstand this is a duplicate. This is a duplicate of this. America. All right. The old world has been duplicated over there. And everything they're bringing you is phantoms and duplicates. Fake Joshuas. You dig? Fake Mashiachs. Fake titles. Fake places. Fake history. Fake creator. Because they bring their God, right? Everything's duplicate. Phantoms. But we're just talking the real. We're talking Tangu. We're talking India. We're talking China. We're talking Cathay. We're talking Mongol. Mongol Khan, right? Remember Mongol Khan? Let's go. So since we know we're just talking Tangu, and we see it right here on the same app, Tangut. And over here we see the same thing, Tangut. Now that we know that's a T. And what's around it? Kara Katai. So you got Cathay right underneath Tangu. Let's go back to the reality. You have Cathay underneath Tangu. Let's go back to the duplicate. You got Tangu, Kara Katai. Oh, so they got Katai, and then they got Song China, and they got another Cathay, which we know is the same thing. So all this is Cathay. Then you got your Jin, which is also your Kin. Remember the Kenites? And then you got Mongolia, all up top, right? Or Canada, all up top. Cathay. All this is pure. Remember, Cathay is just pure. Or Katai, or Kara, Carolinas, Katai. Let's go. Phantoms and duplicates. Now we can see clearly. And I was just looking for a Tangu map of America. Couldn't find one. Didn't know. I already had it up, man. And now can we really just link all these so-called Mongol dynasties and just link them right here? Kara, Tibetan kingdoms. I mean, do I gotta bring back up my Hyborian war map, man? Reality simulation. But the Mongol attack at Tangu is very interesting because this is a hard hit, another hard hit in our investigation. Remember, we in 49, man. This is the 49th installment of the Prester John investigation. Mongol attack at Tangu is now, we can look at Tangu right here in America and know that something went down right around here. One of these so-called Mongol attacks went down right here, man. We're getting some more ether, man. Let's switch it up. Let's switch it up to this boost here, man. Let's get a boost now that we got focus. We got a boost of positive energy. We still in 432 hertz. Hold on, man. We got to dodge the hijack first, though. We got to dodge the hijack. All right, cool. Yeah. We got our dragons flowing now. Georgia on my mind. All right, so now we got a hard hit again with this John Orbelian. We looked it up, led us to another Marco Polo book. And now we got this John Orbelian connecting with this Prester John. We're still talking Georgia. We're just talking Rome, Roma. We're just talking Redmond, Redmond, Redmond. Here we all day. We're just talking Rome. We're just talking Georgia. Let's go. We're just talking Georgies, man. Now, this is another pivot point in our investigation because when we dig on this George, again, we got phantoms and duplicates. So, knowing that Prester John was fighting the Sultan and knowing that this was a, different war, and now you got this other war happening, and he's trying to say, is this all the same war? We have Indian states and kingdoms. We're talking Indian states and kingdoms. George V, Muhammad Sa'adat Ali Khan, right? We know George is Genghis, and now we have a Khan. And just throw it out. I can't confirm or deny yet, but I'm just saying, how much did this George have to do with, these Moabites or Islamic or Muslim situation, whatever you want to call it, but we know that the origin of Muslim love to let us find the truth. It just means people of a promise. So we dodged the titles. And now we're getting this, hard hit, bringing us back with these Georgies. The statue of Zeus at Olympia. Oh yeah, now you're talking Jesus. Now you're talking Jesus, man. Go dig on that. I still want to go into the Battle of Kulikovo, which apparently was a very important situation. The imperial capital was moved here either from Yaroslav, Novgorod, biblical Nineveh, that's Nineveh, okay, or Suzdal, biblical Susa, or Shushan in the middle of the 16th century due to the deep split within the ruling classes of the empire, another schism. The location of choice was not accidental, as this place of Battle of Kulikovo is considered to be holy. So they had battle on holy ground. Here, over the split blood on the Moscow River bank, they decided to erect a new mighty capital of the Third Rome equals Israel. Wait a minute. So you got three Indias. You have three Romes. Do you also have three Jerusalems? Prester John of the three Indias, huh? So Rome equals Israel in this particular, comparison here. Something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind when we're just asking why all roads led from Rome. led from Rome. If we're just saying that Rome equals Israel, specifically the third Rome. Oh man, okay. All right. And we got this Daniel drop. I'm looking for this other Genghis George drop. Tab surfing. That's a different one. That's a different one right there. This might be it right here, though. There we go. There we go. All right, so going back into the Georgi Danilevich, a.k.a. Genghis Khan, Phantom Duplicate. All right. Or Gurkhan. So when reading Gurkhan, that's why we say, all right, we can surf the wave when we're talking for the Manko, Anatoly. Then, we got Genghis Khan connecting with Gurkhan. Genghis Khan connected with George. So you got George, Genghis Khan, Gurkhan. George, Genghis Khan, Gurkhan. Okay, let's go. That's why we, again, this is Love to Jackie Anthony right here. It's George. If you substitute the Genghis in and you have your Khan and you read the, Prester John legends and his sources, we got the full PDF on the drop. Hit at the library. And then you get the drop and Prester John legend and his sources. You know what I mean? That this Genghis Khan was from Moal. They said he was from Moal, M-O-A-L, which is very close to M-A-M-O-A-B. All right. Moab. I mean, does Genghis have anything to do with Moab? And is this something that they're hiding? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's our guy. This George is our guy. Remember that there was still a King George on the throne in 1751 when Benjamin Franklin is writing that Observations of Mankind. There's literally still a black king on the throne, they say. Another George. That they're now trying to break free from. And they have this huge revolution to get free of this black George or this Khan. And what does this got to do with Genghis, Changus, Temujin, George? What's it got to do? You know what I mean? We're going to get back into this medieval history of the Empire of the Israelites drop. This $1,000 book. And we're going to just dig around this joint, for a nice little dismount. We'll also talk some swords, man. Get into some sword drop. Let me make sure we're good. Man, where's my... Go. Okay. We good. We're good for a dismount here. Let's do it like this, man. Let's start right here. We're on page, what's this? 257 of the PDF. 246 of the actual book. We're just going to go ahead and belly flop and see what we can get out of this, We got a lot so far. The well-known traveler Benjamin of Tudela, having visited Asia, reports about the prince of the Babylonian exile, a descendant of the Israelite King David. So we have already been digging on King David in relation with this kingdom of Georgia during the same time period that we're reading in the medieval empire of the Israelites that we're reading right now in the reign of King David IV. Right? This is these Babylonian exilarchs during this Babylonian captivity reaching a golden age, golden horde, golden order, 11th to 13th centuries. The 1000s, all right, to the 1200s, all right. Let's go back. Prince of the Babylonian exile, descendant of the Israelite King David. His authority has spread to all the Jews in Orient, Shinar, Persia, Khorasan, Sheba. All right. Dayar, Kalak, Aram, Naharaim, the mountains of Ararat, to the country of the islands, which, we've been digging on these islands. When you talk about Bretonian dynasty, when you talk Kingdom of Georgia, it takes you to the islands. So you're still talking about the same King David here. The same David here is the same David we're talking about right here. Around the same period of time as the same David Soslan. You dig? Let's go. This means the Babylonian exile still existed, and in particular under this name, still existed recently in the medieval times, dark ages. It was still popping. The book of Daniel was written in this time. Why is the book of Daniel the Babylonian exile? Because he's the son of David, the second son of David, the older brother of Solomon. And this is all going down recently. One needs to suppose that Benjamin of Tudela, himself a Jew, was acquainted with the Torah and the time when the real Babylonian exile took place. The real one. We're just talking David, right? We just belly flopping, man. We enjoying ourselves in Prester John 49. We enjoying our flow. We enjoying our power boost. Let's go down a little bit more. Because, I just want you to remember the time, man. I thought I saw some more. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Remember this? Let us return, however, to the holy blood. The holy blood. Where's the blood? Where's the blood? Oh, he died for your sins. He died. Eat the flesh, eat the blood. Drink this juice for the blood. We're talking the holy blood. You're talking phantoms. You're talking duplicates. Well, let's go to the real spill. Let's go to medieval times, right? Dark Ages times. The Holy Blood and the Holy Grail, what did it really refer to? The symbol of the Grail is a symbol of authority and of traditions which are inherited. It is part and parcel of the legendary Prester John. Your land. We're talking your kingdom, your land. We're talking the Bretonian dynasty, right? We're talking Moses the Black. We're talking the priest king, Prester John. So we digging on this right here, that the Holy Grail is the symbol of authority and traditions. It is part and parcel of Prester John. Now, is this a myth? Are we digging on mythology? Or are we getting this substance, the purified substance, the pure water, while we surf the wave in real time? I mean, how else would we know that Tangu is right over here in America? And all this Mongol history is connected to these castles, connected to the priest king, connected to the Prester. The Grail, man, the holy blood. John was the master of a huge empire. He was omnipotent and all powerful, just like Jesus. Kings and czars, khans, were for him only subjects. Tractatus Pulcherimus called John the King of Kings, Rex Regnum. Now you got Anion Regnum, Quivera Regnum on your maps in America. He combines in himself spiritual, and secular authority. He got the earth, he got the drop on the earth drop and the spiritual drop. So when you say we're just seeking a man, what kind of man you know they've been looking for 500 years, man? We're talking about someone that got the drop on the spiritual realm, on the octaves, on the frequency, on the fountain, on the water, and he got the drop under the heavens. What did Jesus say again? Matthew 28. All power has been given to me under heaven and earth. How can all power be given to you, fool? When that power has already been associated with a lineage. Son of David? I don't think so. Not if you're Joshua, being born of Mary. According to the script, that's not even Judah. And it doesn't have to be, right? But if you want to make Jesus Joshua, it might. It might. Unless we dig further on Moshe David, Anan ben David, Moses Maimonides. But if you're not willing to do that, you can't keep confirming to our people in 2019, so-called, that what you're reading in this excellent New Test is exactly a continuation of Torah. I don't think so. It's a reflection, man. Because now you have a reflection saying, all power has been given to me, but who's the all-powerful? Omnipotent, King of Kings, combining spiritual, the heavens, and secular authority, the earth, man, and he can himself, he says about himself, Prester John, by God's grace, Lord of all lords, who only are beneath heaven from the rising of the sun. Where's that? Where's the sun rise? They say the sun rises in the east, right? To paradise on earth. Whoa. So from the rising of the sun to paradise on earth, if the rising of the sun is in the east, paradise on earth must be in the west. And who's holding it down? Who's holding down paradise? Who's holding down paradise? Prester John. From the rising of the sun to paradise on earth, and all the medieval sources and all the real sources, Prester John controls and holds back the tribes of Gog and Magog. Because you know the lands were close. This is the old world, so even this was in America. And controls the scene. And again, if we're just talking America, that means you're talking a connection. So Gog and Magog, he could be holding down Gog on any one of the borders, inside, over here. He could be holding down Gog right here in the Straits of Anion, the Bering Strait, right here in this connection. So whether you're talking the Greenland flow, whether you're talking the Anion flow, he's holding back the tribes of Gog and Magog. Are they coming out of Asia? Are they coming from over here? Either way, you had a priest king guarding the flow, a priest king that Ahchwa says in Jeremiah chapter 30, David, whom I will raise up for them. Hold up, man. I still got my flashlight. They will serve Hawa their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up for them. All right, got it. Prester John controls and holds back the hijack, Gog and Magog, and controls the seen and unseen worlds. Where's your Jesus fit in if there's already a David controlling the seen and unseen worlds, who different sources are saying is over 1,000 years old, fountain of youth, whom I will raise up for them? Search for Hawa and David. What does this search bring you? Closer to the reality of who's holding back the hijack, controlling the seen and unseen world. He impedes the penetration into his kingdom of lions and giants. Oh, it's mythology. It's mythological. Hey, man. They say all the kings, Xerxes, we're talking the Persian, we're talking Alexander the Great, we're talking the Roma emperors, Ogier, the Danes, Denmark, and others visited the kingdom of the priest king, and there they were accorded legitimatization. They were legitimized. They were made real kings. They had to come to be a king of their land. They had to come see Prester John, priest king. To be a king today, you gotta go through the Pope, right? So who's hijacking? Now you gotta go through the Vatican, right? The Vatican, right? John's kingdom is named the Empire of the Great Khan, and mysterious and miraculous stories, that is the Khan father. Now you got the Godfather, right? In Slavic, Vatican or Vatican, who sits in the center of the world. Bati is Batu, and you're just talking the hijack, Genghis Khan or George. Someone who's hijacking a line of David's, because he wants to be a David. That's all it's looking like. He wants the Khan. But according to the script, when we talk Nebuchadnezzar, the Most High gave him all the drop. He even had to drop over the wild animals. The wild animals. He had to drop over the dragons. The Most High, the Most High had he had a bone to pick with you around this time. And it was time for Prester John to step aside and let this land become what it is today. Because one day, man, one day, I will break his yoke from your neck and tear off your chains, and the strangers will never again enslave him. Who? Jacob. They will serve their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up for them. So Jacob, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Quickly we talked about this Musa, or this, this George, Muhammad. And let's see how this connects with Musa and Moshe. We're still on that Anam and David Moshe connection. And could this be a David versus Genghis connection that we're just, digging on? Let's go to 373. Let me check my notes out. I don't take notes very often, but when I do, I prefer those eques, man. You know what I mean? Let's go, man. Let's go. You're just making a nice smooth dismount. And Prester John 49, man. Hey, hop to the real ones. All praise our power, our one power. And much honor to the one shepherd forever. Oh, let's go back. 373. And I hope I gave everyone the drop that asked for the drop. If you still don't got this drop, it's Medieval Empire of the Israelites by Robert Grisham. Shoot me an email, man. And, let's go ahead and connect you to the water, man. We're just talking the origin of Mohammedanism itself apparently is connected with the struggle of the brothers Musa, which is Moses, and Mehmed or Muhammad, between whom Tamerlane divided the legacy of Turkish Sultan Bayezid. In 1413, Musa was defeated and taken prisoner. Don't it sound like a reflection of this Genghis Khan Prester John war? Where Genghis is Muhammad. Remember, he comes from Moab. Moab. What did my sister Jackie Anthony drop? George. All right, we got George. We got Georgie or Genghis. Georgie or Genghis or Muhammad Khan. Surfing away, just surfing away. Muhammad Khan, Georgie, Genghis, Musa, Moses, Musa, Moses. Rabbi Moshe ben Maimonides, also called Imran. Imran, it's a lot like Amram, right? Amram, the father of Moshe, the sinless man, also called Imran, father of Moshe, right? So you got a Moshe, you got a Musa. Moses, Musa. Just, separating through. Let's go. Moses, Musa. Moshe ben Maimonides. Who wrote the what? Who wrote the code? Remember the Sefer HaMitzvot? And who else wrote the code? Anan ben David wrote the code. The same book in 770. Anan wrote the code of his order, Sefer HaMitzvot, the Book of Precepts. Okay. Let's hijack. Come on, man. So Anan wrote the same code, Sefer HaMitzvot, that we dug on, and we got the same drive from Moshe. The same drop, the same book. You know, I mean, just get the drop, get all the drop. Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Precepts, right? Hijack City. Hijack City. All right. They're trying to distract us, but we focus, man. Let's go. 770. Anan ben David wrote the code of his orders, Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Precepts. Same book right here, Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Precepts. But it's not 770 no more. Oh, no. Oh, no, boss. He was born in 1135. Ain't that around the same? Man, I mean, all this is happening at the same time. 12th century, right? And this is Moses Maimonides. And Moses is the one they're saying now. Maimonides is the one they're saying now. At the age of 33, wrote the Mishnah Torah. The Book of Precepts, Sefer HaMitzvot. Just like Anan ben David in 770 wrote the code, Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Precepts. Moses, David, Musa, Mansa Musa, Moses, Anan ben David, Musa. That's when I said once you connect the right layers, if this is a Anan ben David and Joshua is his nephew, could that make Joshua a son of David? According to that flow. And that's the flow you would need to go to overstand the reflection popping off in the New Testament and the excellent new tuning that's popping with this son of David. Because we know that, if you just look at it on the surface, Joshua, son of Nun, is not son of David, right? So before you say Joshua is Jesus, well, you got to make a case for both of them being the son of David, because Jesus is an immaculate conception who's the son of nobody but the Creator. So how is he a son of David? And then Joshua is coming from Miriam, right? Who's his pops. That's what you got to dig on, you see. You got to be willing to dig before you give anybody something that can't be framed or shaped. Other than that, it's a theory, not a law. This is our investigation for a reason. Because we can put our theories out there unabated, hijack free, just enjoy our investigation. And those on the sidelines can sit back and talk, all the Jabba Joneses. You know what I'm saying? We're just talking jam up Jabba Joneses. Can try to distract you from something that's really been a great flow, and then a flow that's brought plenty of, unsealing from the books. And this is taking us now to asking the right questions. Is Moses Musa? Is Moses David or a Ben David? And does this reflect a David on Genghis war if Genghis is George and George is a Muhammad? Khan? We're just talking medieval history of the Israelites, man. Man, we've been digging deep, man, in this book, man. It's a lot more, it's a lot more, a whole lot more to dig on in this medieval history of the Israelites, man. We'll definitely pick it up next time. Definitely pick it up again. Another link I'll leave from Jackie Anthony right here. He's talking George V. Dodge the hijack. And read up on this George, man, You might see something that connects you to reality. Ahab, Jackie Anthony. And as promised, just making a beautiful dismount here into oh yeah, man. The Prester drop continues, man. The Prester drop continues. We're just talking legendary swords. We just read out the swords of the East. And this is a great link I'll leave, just these are all names of swords. Now it says, of course you got your Excalibur. You're going to have to dig on the book of Jasher with Moses literally pulling out this sapphire staff out of the garden of Rehuel. All the Kenites tried to pull it out. They couldn't. He pulled it out just like the sword, right? So whether you talk scepter, whether you talk sword, you're pretty much talking the same thing. The most famous magical sword of all, King Arthur's legendary blade, continues to appear in many books, movies, games. So back to the Prester John legend and his sources drop, love to type battle. It literally says that all this Arthurian stuff is coming from, as a base, these legends of Prester John. And this Arthurian studies are the Prester John studies. And they have Prester John studies in universities, high level universities, because they know that they're digging on the last noble image. That Camelot of King Arthur is Kalalus of Prester John. And they both got dragons and stuff. So, you can dig on all these famous swords, man. I definitely want to take more time with it. They got something called the Grail sword in Arthurian legends, the cracked holy sword repaired by Parsifal, which is why we got to dig on Parsifal into Toril. Because Parsifal got a lot of Prester drop. Arthurian legends are Prester John studies and legends. All right, so all of this King Arthur, remember, author is order. Order, horde, golden horde. Horde equals author equals order. Author is order. All this is in Prester John, or all the drop on Prester John in the medieval empire of the Israelites. $999 on Amazon giving you this drop. And then you connect it with another $100 book, Prester John the Legend and His Sources by Keegan Brewer. Oh man, and now you're connecting author and King David in real time. King Arthur is King David, man. Is Priest King. Is Prester John. It's a lot of swords to dig on, man. So they got, well, it's funny because they call this one here a list of mythological swords. So why would you dig on mythology? You think all these are just mythological? You think all these swords are just a myth? You think someone just made up Claremore, Salias, and Celtic legends? You saying that Excalibur is just a myth? Huh? Gang Giant Mo Yi is just a myth, man? The giant sword, Gong Bu, the Grail sword is just a myth? Just because it's labeled mythology, don't get it twisted. We're just searching on you. Sword of St. Peter, is it just a myth? Huh? High priest during Jesus' arrest, is that a myth? Come on, man. Then they got historical swords. So first they got the mythical swords, then they got the historical swords. As described above, this category lists legendary swords that have survived today. So these are factual historical swords. And here we go. And I'm guaranteeing, man, these swords, many of them are leading right into the Byzantine, right into the Israelites, right into the Swan Knights and the Templar, right into the Prester drop, right into the Scottish drop, right? Scotland, Andrews, Roos drop. We're talking Wallace. An artifact displayed in the Wallace Monument said to be the sword of Scottish freedom fighter William Wallace. There's much debate over this claim. Then you got your pure fictional swords. So again, they're saying these swords are absolutely fiction, which we even know many of these got the drop. But they're getting these out of a lot of stories and chronicles. Gandalf and, Lord of the Rings and stuff. So they're saying these are purely fiction, but we know that these are even heart's bane. A lot of this Lord of the Rings stuff, a lot of this Game of Thrones stuff, we know that that's actually a lot based on true history, right? True history. So the fictional swords, we know this dropped there. Clearly, these historical swords got dropped. And what they're calling mythological. Come on, bro. Don't dig on mythological. don't dig on mythology. Don't dig in mythological books, bro. Come on, man. Why? Why? They're not fictional. There's a reason they made a fictional list and a mythological list. They're not saying these are fake. They're just saying that it's shrouded in mythology, what the hijack would call mythology, which most of the Bible would be shrouded in mythology, walking on water, talking serpents or dragons and giants, right? But you got the giant slayer swords and all these other swords, especially with this Excalibur. We know it got the drop. But mythological swords, are not fictional swords. So there might be a lot of non-fiction when you just talk about the mythological. I mean, these beautiful swords are popping up. This is a 13th century sword. We just talked about this 13th century, right? Remember the Kingdom of Georgia? All right. What they say, 11th through 13th century was their golden age, right? So 11th century, 13th century sword with a golden inscription was likely made in Germany, but was found at the bottom of a river with them in 1825. It's in a British museum. Currently on loan to the British Library. Sword looks ordinary at first glance, weighing about 2 pounds, 10 ounces, measuring 38 inches long. The weapon is steel with a double edge and a hilt shaped like a cross. But on one side of the sword is a mysterious inscription made by gold wire that has been inlaid into the steel. And it has this whole code, and everyone's saying we're trying to break this code, but no one knows what it means. What does this strange group of letters mean? Is it a magical incantation? Incantation? I mean, it kind of reminds you of the Voynich manuscript a little bit, right? With the magi and the incantations. We got to get back on the Voynich manuscript. We got to go into Parsifal, tutorial. We still got a whole lot of digging. In reality, we're just getting started. We're just talking our swords, man. And you can always go to good old wiki, man, and find a nice little list of historical swords. And you can start linking these up with your recon. And I just really, have a good feeling that when we start really narrowing down these swords, it's going to lead you to your priest king, your priest cons, back to the wall of sword, You got the bishop's sword, swords of Osman, the curved saber of San Martin, sword of Stalingrad. You got all the drop. Danish sword, all right. Sword of Laban, sword of Attilia. You dig on these historical swords, man, see what you can find. This is a drop from ancientorigins.net. All right. And we're just talking about the 10 legendary swords of the ancient world. The 10 legendary swords from the ancient world. Swords are not only weapons, but symbols of great power used over the centuries as offerings, in ceremonies for coronations, as well as precious items for trade. Over the years, a number of swords have been unearthed, bringing them centuries of legends and incredible tales, linking them to famous figures and folk heroes. Here we feature 10 striking swords from the ancient world. We got the Charlemagne drop. That's pretty clean right there. Remember Charlemagne called himself King David as well. You got mystical ceremonial swords of Japan. Yeah, man. Sword of San Galgano. We're talking Tuscany. The Gujian. Chinese sword that defied time. Okay. Come on, man. You got these samurai Muramasa blades. You got this Viking sword that we dug on before called the Ulfbereit. He said it was ahead of his time. He said the sword was made of a metal so pure, crafted with such high quality. They're dating it between 800 and 1000. But here it says it was believed that the technology to create this metal was not invented for another 800 years or more. So maybe it was around the 1600s. But they can't put that together with the timeline, so they got to say, well, it's dated 800, but it could be 800 years later according to the technology to create this metal. Duh. All right, so then since you didn't have the technology to create this metal then, it might be in the 1600s. But that's just a duh moment. All right, then you got these swords of Russia. They say this one belonged to Ivan the Terrible. That's when we started digging on the Ivans, and we realized there's 4 Ivans, and one Ivan is definitely, connected according to the chronology, the true chronology, to Genghis Khan and Batu Khan. These are connected back to the Khans, but it's also connected to the Johns because the Ivan is also being translated by some reconners as John. And there's 4 different Johns or Ivans. All right, so remember, Genghis called himself Prester John. He called himself King David. He called himself all these titles, George, all these titles, man. So he's not the originator of them. Khan, he's not the originator of them, but he's using the titles. He's using the titles. And now that we can dodge the hijack, Ivan the Terrible, we know is connecting directly to either him or, someone in succession with Genghis Khan. So it's interesting, man. It's an interesting find right here. This is really interesting here. This is a Chinese votive sword found in Georgia. Oh, Russia, Georgia? Nah, nigga. Nah, my nigga. Pre-Columbian North America. Pre-hijack North America. I'm talking about Georgia over here, man. I'm talking about India Superior, which means we're talking China, but what are they going to say about the Chinese? They say, well, maybe this sword is proof that the Chinese traveled all the way over here. Just like the Roma, Tucson artifacts, they say maybe it's proof that the Rome Italians, white people must have traveled here and formed a Roman colony. Nah, nigga, nah, naga. You talking Roma. You talking pomegranate. You talking Remon, Redmon, Raymond chilling all day. Oh, we're talking Ramon, man. We're talking Raymond. Can I get an Edma? We're just talking the fruit. We're just talking Raymond, right? We're talking the Hebrew for pomegranate. The Hebrew for pomegranate, the Raymond. So we know we got a Rome, Georgia. We done dug on that. It says in July 2014, a strange discovery was made on the banks of a small stream in Georgia, USA. An exquisite Chinese sword fashioned in lizardite. Hold up, man. What the feezy? The feezy's lizardite, man. See if it lets me get one more. Okay, bye. Lizardite. We just making a dismount. Don't mind us. Extremely fine grained, scaly lizardite, also called ortho antigorite. Antigorite comprises much of the serpentine present in serpentine marbles. Translucent, soft, and has an average specific gravity. All right. Man, clearly we're talking some dragon type of connection with this material, man, of this sword found in Georgia. This is a dragon sword, yo. Found in Georgia. Look at it, man. Look at it, man. Look at it, man. The symbol carved into the sword, including a dragon head. Whoa. So we got a dragon head and a face mask of the tail tie. Tau. Are found on jade objects from the Shay, Zhao. The rare artifact gives further weight to the theory that the Chinese traveled to North America before Christopher Columbus. The Chinese traveled to North America before Christopher Columbus. La China is already in North America before Christopher Columbus, is what they mean to say, but can't say it. But they can't say it. Because China's already here, and so is Tangu, India, Cathay. Oh, man. We're just making it dismount. So I love this one right here. This is a great drop to dig on. This is the dragon head drop. This is the lizardite. Talking jade, man. The Shia, which is with the she, the X is a Tau, which is why they call it Tau Tai. Chinese travel to North America. Come on, man. My naga. My naga, you already home, my naga. My naga, you already home. You already home, man. We just surfing the wave, drop nation. Enjoying the flow. Enjoying the David flow. Enjoying the Anon, the Anian flow. And bit by bit, oh yeah, next time we're going to jump into this doc, Anon ben David and his descendants, part 1. Oh man, I mean, clearly something's going on with this Anon ben David. Generally regarded as one of the most important, if not the most important figure in the Cathay. Although he is often mistakenly referred to as the founder of it, he was in fact not. Nonetheless, he was and continues to be highly venerated by most Kari communities, especially in the Near East. He was from the line of the Exarchs, direct descendants of the royal house of Judah and of the seed of King David. Or are we talking David? Or are we talking Moshe or Moses, Maimonides? Or are we talking Rusa? We'll get back into these Maimonides teachings, We'll also get back on the Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Precepts. We're just talking the commandments. Get back into the line, the life and times of Maimonides. I think this is actually a great place to do our dismount. We got so much more drop on the way, though, man. I mean, hey. We looked at a couple of these. Let's get these 3 positive commandments, man, for the dismount. Let's go. And it's the Sefer HaMitzvot written by Anan ben David and or Moshe, Musa, Maimonides, either in the 1200s or, 1100s or the 700s. All right. So this is the 5th positive commandment. The 5th mitzvah is that we are commanded to serve Hawa. Oh man, I love this. This commandment is repeated many times. You shall serve God your Lord, Hawa your power, and you shall serve him and to serve him. Although this commandment is of a general nature, as explained in the 4th principle, and apparently should not be included in the count of the 1613 mitzvos, nevertheless, it has a specific quality since it is the commandment to pray. We see that service is not just a general commandment from the following statements. The Sefri says this verse, and to serve him means prayer. The verse, and to serve him means Torah study. Not Bible, not Bible. Just making sure Torah is not the same as Bible. Torah study. Got it. We're talking Torah, we're talking Moshe, we're talking Sefer Mitzvah, or Ha-Mitzvot. All right. Let's get commandment number 6. Come on, man. The 6th mitzvah is that we are commanded to be close to the wise and to associate with them. Be close to the wise. Ain't that script? Knocking on the wise man's door. We should constantly be close to them and to be with them in all possible ways of friendship, such as eating, drinking, doing business, in order to thereby succeed in emulating their actions and knowing from their words the true way of looking at things. The source of this commandment is Hawa's statement, exalted be he, and cling to him. This commandment is repeated, to him you shall cling, and is explained in the words of the Sefri, cleave to the sages and their students. One more, positive commandment number 7 for the dismount. And Prester John, number 48. The investigation continues. The 7th mitzvah is that we are commanded to swear. The 7th mitzvah is that we are commanded to swear in Hawa's name whenever necessary, whether to insult something, to ensure something be done, or to prevent ourselves from doing something. We are required to swear in his name because it exalts, glorifies, and magnifies. The source of this commandment is Hawa's statement, and swear in his name. Our sages said explicitly, the Torah tells us, swear in his name and do not swear. This means that just as one may not make an unnecessary oath, which is prohibition, one is commanded to make a necessary oath, which is a positive commandment. Therefore, one may not swear in the name of any other creation, such as angels or stars. An exception is where the subject, i.e. God, is obviously omitted, such as one who swears in the truth of the sun, but means the true God of who created the sun. It is in this manner that our nation swears in the name of Moshe in order to gain honor through mentioning his name. It is as if the person uttered the oath in the God of Moshe and in the one who sent Moshe. However, when a person uttering the oath does not have this in mind and swears in the name of a created being, having in mind that this object is so true that he can swear on it, he has transgressed. He has placed an object on the same level of Hawa. They say, ooh, in Jesus' name, Jesus, 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 right? The oral tradition explains that one who places an object on the same level, oh, Jesus is God, they say, right? On the same level as God is uprooted from the world, man. So you got to be hijack free and be careful when you agreeing with the hijack that is uprooted from the world by placing an object, a created being, on the same level as the creator. They say Christ is the Ruach, is the Holy Spirit. Don't you know? Genesis 1:26 created man in his image. If Christ is the Ruach, then who are you? Who is Hawa? Who is Shekinah? Who is Mama? I thought Mama was the Ruach. I thought Mama was the Mem. Be careful swearing or calling on another name in place of Hawa. We're just talking about the law. We're talking about the root. We're talking about the redemption of Israel. We're talking about Israel returning, breaking the yoke of the hijack, of the delusion, of the sleep, of the slumber, so that you will never be enslaved again, man. I will break his yoke from your neck. No more slave spell, no more excellent new tune. I will tear off your chains from the hijack, and strangers will never again enslave him. Because to be hijacked is to be enslaved. They will serve their Lord, their power, their creator, and David, their king, whom I will raise up for them. First, you must serve your flow, and in your flow, you'll find your priesthood, your priest king, your immortal flow, your immortal power, your energy, your dragons. In your priesthood, that Hawa will raise up for you, will raise up for you. We're talking Israel. We're talking wave. Man, I'm just talking to my wave surfers. And next time we'll dig on this link, man. Next time we'll dig on this link, digging on history as therapy, alternative history, and nationalist imaging or imaginings in Russia by Konstantin Shiko. More of this flamenco history, digging on Ivan the Terrible. Remember the sword of Ivan the Terrible? Flamenco, all right, says destroyed as part of a plot against the reputation of Ivan the Terrible and the Tartars. Keep hearing about Genghis Khan and the Tartars. In his answer, the error of Ivan the Terrible has reached us in the descriptions, documents, and forgeries of the 17th, 18th centuries, man. 1553, Ivan the Terrible instituted a council of trustees to look after his young son Dmitri. Since Ivan himself was very sick, his supporters feared an early death. The Tsar, or the Khan, recovered from illness, but the council of trustees continued its work. Flamenco asked why this awesome and almighty Tsar needed an obsolete council after he was restored to health. Ivan's subjects had to take numerous oaths of loyalty to the Tsar, even though, according to the regular practice, it should have needed to be done only once. Why did Ivan the Terrible need a second coronation after 25 years in power? We're just talking about the Khanate, right? 1575, Ivan the Terrible decided to abdicate in favor of the former Khan of Kasimov Khanate. Simon Bekbulativovich, which became the Tsar of all Russia. All right, he boasted royal blood, royal blood. Remember the tribe, the Holy Grail, Prester John, holy blood, right? Royal blood, and traced his ancestry to Genghis Khan. So there is a connection between Ivan the Terrible and Genghis Khan. And when we're digging on these famous swords, this famous sword must prove that they came all the way from China to America, or they proving that China is in America. When you talk about this beautiful sword right here, right? China's in America. We're talking dragon swords. What else we talking? We talking Ivan the Terrible sword, 12th century, man. We talking Genghis Khan. You see, we ain't all no play. Searches. This drive right here is called the Searches. Oh yeah. Back in that car, Katai drive. We got a lot more to dig on this. Searches for an imaginary kingdom, huh? Mythological. The legend of the kingdom of Prester John, man. Kara, Katai, Gurkhan, which we know Genghis Khan, Gurkhan. We're talking Yeludashi, Nestorian. Nestorians called him King John. Khan. Remember I told you that sometimes it's Kham. Kham. Khan and Kham. We still talking Kara, Katai. We still talking Cathay. We just bringing it all the way home, man. Having a great time digging on it. We'll be back in the Bragatonis, man. We'll be back in David the Fourth, King of Georgia. We're talking more about the schisms, more about the exilarchs, man. More about the Bragatoni dynasty, more about the kingdom of Georgia. We're just talking Rome. We're just talking Georgie. We're also talking Genghis, right? We're talking about a title that even predates the Genghis flow. Letting you know that Genghis was hijacking all titles from David. Ahab to the real ones. Ahab to the home team. Ahab to the ones digging on the priest kings, the Wangs, the Khans, the Presters. This is the 49th installment of the Prester John investigation. And part 50, we going way up. We celebrating. We don't get a lot of reasons to celebrate, so we're going to really celebrate Prester John number 50. And no, we definitely will have a bonus 51. And you know what I'm saying? Everyone, watch out, man, and just enjoy the flow. Because we will definitely, man, get that 60 for the homie Nip, man. Rest in power. So let's keep the flow flowing. We just getting started in the Prester John investigation. All praise our creator for the flow that raises up the priesthood, that raises up the kingdom. Never again will you be enslaved. You will serve your creator. Our priest kings will rise, whom I will raise up for them. All praise Hawa. All power be to Hawa. All power be to our framer and our shaper, Allah, Hawa.